parents. Miss Penny here today. Today on Monday, April 13th, we are going to be talking about counting. And not just counting aloud and like 1 to 10 or 1 to 5. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be quantifying. So when you quantify with your child, you just kind of want to talk about the amount of objects that you have. Not per se 1 through 5 or 1 through 6 or 1 through 10. You just want to count the objects that they have in a group. So the activity we're going to do today is called Let's Make Two. So you only want them to talk about the quantity of two because they're so young, and quantifying above that might be a little challenging. But they definitely should be able, most of them, to be exposed to the number 2 or the quantity of 2, or be able to recognize the quantity of 2. So an easy way that you can do this with infants, and I would say infants 6 months and under, what I would do with an infant, if I was working with your child, I would have them sit with me, and I'd have them sit on my lap or your lap, and we would talk about that they have 1, 2 eyes, 1, 2 hands, 1, 2 ears, 1, 2 feet. Everything that on their body that they have quantities of 2, which is just about almost a lot of things. It could be 2 hands, 2 feet, 2 knees, 2 ears, 2 eyes. You want to point them out, and you want to say, look, you have 1, 2 eyes, 2. Baby girl, you have 2. And that is a very simple way to work with quantifying with our babies. Another way to work with quantifying with our younger infants is, and this would probably be 6 months, 12 months age range. What you could do is you could talk about the objects that they're playing with. And you could set them up to have 2 objects. And it could be 2 little people from the Little People's family sets. It could be 2 toys. 1, 2. It could be 2 balls. It could be 2 coins, 1, 2. And these are really big coins. These are just examples that I have in my granddaughter's playroom that I'm just trying to show you that it doesn't necessarily have to be something that Miss Penny is supplying. It could be 2 sippy cups. It could be 2 passies. And just pointing out that they have 2 and using that language with them is what's really going to help with them. Just exposing them to the number 2, letting them hear the definition of what a quantity of 2 is. You could do with your older kids that are about 18 months to 24 months. What I would do is I would kind of do the same thing that we just did with our younger infants, but you could actually model how to count. 1, 2. You have 2, and then you want them to say it back to you or say it with you. 1, 2. That's right. That's right, Billy. You did a really good job. That's how you would model quantifying with a child that's right around 18 months old. You just kind of want them to repeat with you and stop at the number 2, and just kind of, if they go on, that's okay, but you just keep repeating, oh, that's 1, 2, look, 2, and do it throughout the day. You don't have to just sit down in one setting and do it. You could just do it throughout the day every time you see an opportunity to bring up the number 2. And you could do this with other numbers. You could do 1, you could do 3. I just picked 2, and the lesson is 2 because that's just a really easy number for kids at this age to kind of understand, because they have 2 hands and usually they'll pick up 2 things. So if you have an older child that's right around 24 months, what you could do is you could talk about when they're getting dressed. You could say, okay, Sally, now it's time to get dressed. Let's get our shoes. Oh, Sally, you have 2 shoes. 1, 2. Oh, it's time to put our socks on. Let's put our socks on. 1, 2. And you could talk about how many socks that she has. You could do this with various things throughout the house. If you're doing laundry, you could talk about 2 shirts. If you're doing, what else? If you're playing in the room, you could talk about 2 toys. You could even do it with family members in your home. You could say, look, we have 2 family members, mom, dad, or aunt, uncle, or grandma and papa. It's just really easy. It's just a really low number to focus on, and the kids they'll really like it. So, and it just comes really natural. You're just doing it throughout your day, your daily routine. And try to get them just to model that back. You know, you could say, okay, Sally, it's time to put our shoes on. Bring me your shoes. Oh, I have one and you have one. Let's put them on. Now you have 2. 1, 2. Another way to do this is if you have older 2-year-olds, kids that are probably going to be possibly be going to preschool this fall, which I know we have a couple of them in our program. A really easy way to do this is you would set out 2 to 3 items, and it doesn't matter what they are, and you would ask the child how many items there is on the table, and then you would assist them in pointing to each of them and counting them together. You know, so if you set, hold on, I'm going to use this as my table. So you set 3 things out there, okay? And then you say, Sally, why don't you come over? We're gonna count these things. Or how many things do you have on your plate? The food would be a very easy way to do this. If they're coloring, count their crayons. It's just anything throughout the day. Count how many objects are sitting on the table. How many objects are sitting on the countertop. How many objects do they have in their floor, on their room. But you know, you want to kind of focus on a general rule of thumb is 3 because they're so young. But you would just model it just like this. Oh, how many things do we have right here, Sally? 1, 2, 3. And you modeled it. So after that, you would want to use their hand and show them. And it's very important to show them that they touch each object, because that gets them in the habit of quantifying as they go to preschool. So then Sally's going to give you your hand, and you're going to go, look, 1, 2, 3. That's right. You have 3, Sally. You have 3 toys, or you have 3 apples, or you have 3 shoes, or 3 socks. If you took one away, then you talk about 1, 2. It's just getting them kind of just in the habit of counting what is available, instead of just keeping going on and on and on. And they may go on and on and on, and chances are they will. But you're just teaching them how to model with the objects. And if they continue to count, go, oh, we only have 3. We just have 3. Look, 1, 2, 3. Now can you do it? And then let them do it on their own. And they'll go 1, 2, 3. But those are just some quick games that you can play with your children this week on quantifying for math. If your child does do this activity, if you could please send Miss Penny a video of it, I would absolutely love it. We'll be able to use this for their progress report. And you guys are doing a great job at home. I love all the videos and all of the pictures that you're sending me of your kids. I'm seeing their progress. It makes me so happy. I know that this is a really difficult time for us to be at home and not being able to see each other and connect. But I feel like we're doing a really good job with the resources that we have. Most of you guys are video chatting with me, or we're contacting each other in some form or fashion that week, and you're sending me pictures and video, which is helping your child's development, because you guys are the first teachers of your children, and you're doing an excellent job with what we have. And Miss Penny will just try to come up over the next couple of weeks with some more activities. But this week we are talking about 1 and 2. And our activity is called Let's Make 2. And you can even expand in this activity if you wanted to, and you could write the number 2. The possibilities are endless, and if you would like to expand on the activity, that would be a great way to do it. For your children, you feel like they can count 1 and 2, or know that this is 2. Another way would be holding up 2 fingers and go, how many fingers does mommy got, or daddy got, or grandma's got? And then see if they say 2, because that's another way of quantifying right there. Because as they get older, they'll start to instantly quantify and they won't have to count. So if you have any questions, please feel free to call Miss Penny, because I'm always available. And I'm going to post this video on YouTube, and then I will share it on our Facebook page. You guys have a great day, and Miss Penny cannot wait to see all the videos and the pictures that you guys send me of you counting 1 and 2. Thanks. You guys have a good day. Miss you guys.